Morning, all. So we're on to night two of 116. Let's go. Boston's in New Jersey to open their seasons tonight. It'll be Rask against Blackwood. That game starts at 4 o'clock Pacific, which is 7 o'clock Eastern, and is one of three games that will be starting at the same time. So here we go. This will be the first time I've had this many games on at the same time in a while, and then there's one at 4:30, there's two at 5, a couple at 6. It's going to be a fun night. Washington is also in against Buffalo, same time, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. Samsonov has been confirmed for the Capitals. It is likely Hutton for Buffalo, and of course, Ullmark has been listed as questionable and going through all the protocols and all that, so we'll see whether or not they start Hutton. It's probably going to be Hutton. The Islanders are in against the Rangers. This is one people are going to be excited about, of course, starting at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. It is Varlamov at one end of the rink and Shesterkin at the other. So for Ranger fans, here we go. Lafreniere is going to make his NHL debut. Shesterkin's in net. I may pay really close attention to this game of the three that start at 4 o'clock my time. So those three, and then a half an hour later at 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, Detroit opens their season at home against Carolina. Mrazek is confirmed for Carolina. Grice is listed as likely. So this is going to be interesting. Of course, Detroit coming off of one of their worst seasons in I'll say the last 40 years. And so they're going to be looking to turn things around, and they've got Carolina to start the season. And then at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets in against the Nashville Predators. Nashville has Saros listed as likely. And Columbus, there's been no indication yet, but I'm thinking Elvis, right? Probably Elvis. Not that it matters whether it's Elvis or Korpisalo, you're going to get a pretty good goaltending performance out of the Columbus net. And then also starting at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. I should say Eastern, not Pacific. I did this last night too. You would think that when I came into the room today, I would have gone, hey, so that's wrong. But I didn't. So let's just go ahead and fix that now. And of course, that's Winnipeg at home against Calgary. A rematch of a play-in round. And of the matchups on the board, yet none of these teams met each other in the playoffs in 2020. So this will be the first of the playoff rematches. And of course, it's two teams in Canada. Don't make a drinking game out of hearing the words all Canadian matchup if you're watching Canadian sports, or you'll be in serious trouble. Do not make a drinking game out of that. But yeah, that'll be a fun game. And then at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, it is the rematch between Vancouver and the Edmonton Oilers. We'll see if it's Smith and Demko. I'm thinking it'll be Smith and Demko. Of course, the Canucks 1-0, the Oilers 0-1. Records are nice and easy early in the season. And for Vancouver, they're looking to make themselves a 2-0 team. But at the very least, if they did lose this game tonight, to me, that's still a successful trip to Edmonton if you can come out of there 500. But, again, since every single game's a divisional matchup, they're going to want to go to 2-0. And then also, at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, San Jose's in Arizona. Now, that may be how their season starts for their home games, too. Their first home game isn't until the 1st of February, so they're hoping that they have something worked out with Santa Clara County before then. But they're in against the Coyotes. That'll be a fun game. That'll be a fun game because it's two teams that, in one case, San Jose might need to rebuild, and in Arizona's case, because of cap concerns and just overall finances, we'll see how things go. It'll be interesting. And then at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern, the Vegas Golden Knights are playing their first home game in the Fortress in a very, very long time, and they're playing it at home against the Anaheim Ducks. So this should be a fun little matchup too. It is a shame that Zegras didn't make the team, but we move along, right? Also at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern, we have the LA Kings at home against the Minnesota Wild. And home opener for LA, I would think Peterson. I would think Talbot for Minnesota. Much like for Anaheim, it'll be Gibson. For Vegas, it should be Leonard. For Arizona, it should be Kemper. For San Jose, it's probably going to be Jones. So there you go. And of course, for Calgary, it should be Markstrom. And for Winnipeg, it should be Hellebuck. That should be a fantastic matchup. But let me know your predictions in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And it's night 2. Let me know your picks. I'll talk to you again soon.